We made a huge mistake, you guys, and we're going to be taking the engine out of the Lamborghini.
Huh? This guy. I guess now he wants to be in the video. Yes?
I don't mean to start off on a negative note, you guys, but it's just kind of part of the process with projects like these. So with that being said, welcome back to my YouTube channel. We are going to be completing a bunch of things on the Lamborghini today. So if you are new or not subscribed to the channel, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button because you are not going to want to miss out on my epic builds. Before we do hop into the Lamborghini though, we need to take care of some business. And this business is what actually funds my crazy ideas. So big shout out to all of you guys that support me in everything I do. Let's get started with today's episode. Well, that didn't go as planned, but before I get into that, I wanted to clarify a little bit about what I meant about those who support me. And I don't just mean my clients that fund a lot of these projects, but I also wanted to include friends, family, my girlfriend, of course, Buddy. Buddy! I guess he didn't want to be part of the video. And also all of you guys that are subscribed and watch all of my videos. I want to give you guys a big thank you, and I just want to let you guys know that your support does not go unnoticed. But now to explain why things didn't go as planned. Something really bad happened, and that is my dad discovered Facebook Marketplace. And most of you guys probably know what I'm talking about and are guilty of this, because I know I am. But he figured out how to use Facebook Marketplace, and he found himself a truck. Well, the truck happened to be a 4-hour round trip, and I couldn't say no. I had to take him to go get it, build that memory. And he got his truck that he wanted, and now he's happy, and that's all that matters. But now, it's time to get back on the Lamborghini. We made it back, and we're ready to rock. So, where we left off is, we built this beautiful exhaust for the car, and it is not welded yet, but I am going to save myself a little bit of time, and I am going to have somebody come and weld that for me because they are probably a lot better welder than I am, and their welds are going to look a lot better than mine will. So then that's also a kind of an aesthetic thing, so I just want it to look good. And while that's getting welded, I can be finishing up a lot of other things like the cold side of the turbo kit. I still got to build the cold side and mount the blow-off valves on it. And not to mention, we still got to mount the wastegates onto the hot side, along with a bunch of other things. And unfortunately, taking the motor out of this bad boy. So let's get started. happier with how this cold side came out, honestly, for doing all this myself and me not being a fabricator. But like I did say earlier, I did take a very simple route on this, with this. So it could have looked a lot better, you know, if I went with V-bands and all that fancy stuff. But I just ended up going the traditional way with the silicone boots. And, well, this is what it looks like. So I went with those vibrant silicone boots, and that's going to give it the flexibility that it needs. And I also did weld this up myself, so I mean, I'm honestly pretty proud of those welds. I'm not a very good welder, you guys can probably tell, but those are actually the best aluminum welds I've done yet, so kudos to me. So yeah, I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty happy with how it came out. What I don't like about it though is how this tube came out shorter than this one, and the whole reasoning that it had to be done that way, I didn't really have much choice, is because the motor actually is set over to the driver's side, and it is not like a mount situation or anything. It's actually because of the transaxle. So this is a transmission and differential together, and off this side right here, there's an intermediate shaft that runs forward to the front of the car, and that's what makes the car an all-wheel drive. It goes to the front differential. Well, that drive shaft has to run right down the middle of the car, so in order for it to do that, you have to offset the motor over to the side, and it looks a little bit funky, but it's really hard to keep any symmetry going, you know, with the build. I mean, everything has to be shorter on one side than it is the other, but either way, overall, I'm very happy with how it came out. But enough of me talking. I got a guy on the way that is actually going to weld up my exhaust for me, so that's really cool. That's going to save me a lot of time, and it's going to look a lot better than what I could have done. So I really appreciate him for coming and doing that. So I need to get that exhaust taken off for him so he can take it with him to get it welded, or to weld it. And then we're going to move on to the hot side and start getting those wastegates mounted. That took a little longer than I intended, but I did wrap up those wastegates, and they are looking super sweet. But also, our buddy did come and pick up this exhaust, so he's gonna get it welded up for us, and it is gonna look awesome when we get it back. I just know it, and I cannot wait, honestly, because a beautiful exhaust with beautiful welds, I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. But check out these wastegates, you guys. What do you guys think about that? I'm super happy with how they came out, honestly. I did mount them, you know, closer to the back of the car. That way you could see them a little bit more, because there is a grill that goes right here, and you're going to be able to see part of the turbos and those wastegates. And I think it's just going to look super awesome. And who doesn't love a good view from the back, right? No, but I'm really happy. But it's not just about the looks. It's also gonna save me a little bit of work whenever it comes time to building the I don't even know what you call it, the dump pipes that come off of it. I still haven't decided if I'm gonna shoot them straight down, you know, to the bottom of the car, or if I'm gonna tie them into the exhaust. I want to say I'm probably going to tie them into the exhaust, but I've heard of that cracking out, and I'm not sure if that's going to affect the O2 sensors or the widebands, or I'm not sure. I need to think it through and do my research. But I'm super happy with how that came out, and we are accomplishing a lot of things, you guys. We got the cold side all wrapped up. We got the wastegates done and mounted. We got the exhaust off to get welded. And now, probably the time you guys have been waiting for, it is time to pull the engine out of the car. And that is my bad. That is my bad. I'm not gonna hold it off any longer. The reason that we are pulling the engine out of the car is to do a final assembly. There's no bad reason we're pulling the engine out of the car. Not that I know of, at least. We're gonna be pulling it out so we can get everything cleaned up and put together for its final time. What that means is we're gonna get stuff powder coated, we're gonna get stuff painted, we are just gonna clean up everything in the engine bay, because this is a Lamborghini and you can't have it rolling around like this, whether you like it or not. I mean, it's got a Chevy engine, but it's still a Lamborghini. So we can't be rolling around with all that yuck on the frame rails, and the transmission look like, I don't know, somebody peed on it, and I mean, it's just a filthy mess. And I'm not OCD or anything, but I like my things to look halfway decent. So I'm gonna do this one right, and I'm gonna get it all cleaned up and do my best to make it look good for the future. You know, who knows what we got until in the future for this car. But yeah, that's my plan, you guys. And before we do pull it out, I do want to say an apology for these videos taking so long to go out. My reasoning behind it is the editing. The editing takes a little bit. I'm still figuring that out. But I have been doing everything on my phone on iMovie, and there's just not a lot there to, I don't even know how it makes it. To make there's just not a lot of editing there. There's not a lot of features on the iMovie app. So I am gonna invest into this a little more. I'm gonna get me a nice laptop and buy a good editing software, and hopefully I can make these videos a little more interesting for you guys as well. I think it's gonna be a really good investment, in my opinion. But we need to get this motor out. But that's gonna have to be in the next video. I'm so sorry, you guys. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you on the next one. Peace.